A very good afternoon to you from the sports desk. We'll start off with this. So the curtain comes down on the Netball World Cup tomorrow afternoon. And now with the current Santaco strike in Cape Town, World Netball is still confident that everything will go according to plan, but did admit that they could have done better when it comes to ticket prices. As far as the action on the court is concerned, England caused an upset earlier today by beating reigning champions New Zealand in the first semi-final. At 4 p.m, Jamaica take on Australia in the second semi. Our reporter Hloni Mtimkulu is in Cape Town and joins us now for an update. Hloni, thank you so much for joining us this hour. So one of the biggest issues that the tournament has faced has been that of ticket prices. Now this is even before the tournament started. I know that World Netball hosted a briefing earlier. Was this matter addressed, that of ticket prices, I mean?
Yeah, eNCA, so World Netball did have that briefing at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. And just before we get into that, I just want Zaid to pan over to where the entrance is of the CTICC, where people come in for their tickets. And yesterday, this time, before South Africa's match, there were hardly any people coming in. And then we saw during the match that it was very empty. It wasn't as full as I'm sure World Netball and the local organizing committee would have liked. But today we see ahead of that semi-final between Jamaica and Australia that there seems to be a bigger attendance, or we should be expecting a bigger attendance when that match does get underway. Of course, maybe part of the reason why the crowd attendance hasn't been consistent is around ticketing, and the World Netball did say that the LOC actually gives them a proposal and World Netball helps them with the pricing, but it's the LOC that benchmarks pricing according to local events, and then they work around that. So there is maybe some work to be done in terms of that. They did say that the semi-finals were more full, or this morning's semi-final was more full than midweek games, but there is work that could be done. But let us hear from World Netball in terms of what the plans are, or they're thinking around what has possibly gone wrong with the ticketing at this year's Netball World Cup.
What we do is with the local organising committee is we ask them to put forward their ticketing strategy. We help them think about what are they benchmarking against. So clearly in this case they were benchmarking against other sporting events, not only in South Africa but specifically in Cape Town, and other high-profile world events. So there's always a balance to be struck on these matters. We looked at the size of the venue, the capacity, and as you can see, the ticketing prices for the semis and finals was set just right, and we have good coverage. Those sessions will be full, which is amazing.
Now, Hloni, I also know that there's that taxi strike in the city, and I would imagine that the spectators at the tournament use this mode of transport. Now, what has been the impact of the strike?
Yeah, so yesterday we spoke to the tournament director, Priscilla Masisi, and she did say because now they've given away 1,000 free tickets a day to locals, that yesterday attendance would have been affected a little bit by that. The volunteers getting to the stadium, to the arena rather, would also be affected by that. And now with these rumors or reports that we're hearing that the taxi strike will be headed to the World Cup, World Netball says that they're not so worried about it, but that it is in the LOC's, it's part of the LOC's responsibility to make sure that things go well. So they don't seem too worried about it. They are aware of what has been happening since around Thursday, but that the LOC should be organizing that. We hope that from what we heard from Priscilla Masisi that there are plans in place to make sure that if the strike does get to the CTICC, that there will be measures taken to address that. But yeah, so we will have to see tomorrow if the strike does get and what the contingency plans around that in Santaco.
All right, Hloni, thank you so much for your time. That was our reporter, Hloni Mtimkulu, giving us the latest updates on the Netball World Cup, which comes to a close tomorrow. Ropia Madzena will be back with more of your stories at the top of the hour.